So it's probably about 2 years ago now that I started to get really defeated by photography, feeling really down in the dumps, a little bit miserable about it, if I'm honest. Now, I'm not really talking about my professional work life, very different goals. Here, I just want to love it. I just want to enjoy it. I just want to get a buzz out of doing what I'm doing. I want to pick up the camera and create something that, that feeling when you get it on the big screen, you go, I did that. I created something that wasn't there before, and now it's on a screen in front of me, or even better, it's on a print in front of me. And that joy was not making it through to me. I'd forgotten how to have that joy. So I gave myself a little bit of a talking to, and I kind of came up with 3 rules that have kind of got me onto the right track. And that track is where I am out in this wonderful place I've never been to before, in the Peak District National Park. And it's just absolutely fantastic. The sense of adventure, the sense of fulfillment. And I don't even think I'm going to get any particularly great photography, but that's besides the point, because being here is part of my 3 golden rules. Right now I'm in the centre of what's called the 9 Ladies Stone Circle. Yeah, I've always quite fancied seeing this. There's quite a bit of a myth and legend around this place. These stones are said to represent 9 women who were turned to stone, and that's a lovely little story. But I mean, the truth of it probably is that we've got 9 women who were killed by men for their crime of dancing on a Sunday. Britain. It's a bleak day. It's set to be kind of drizzling all through the day, and I knew that when I was coming out, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go somewhere I've always wanted to go. I'm going to experience it, take some photographs. If I get something, I get something. And this is kind of my first rule of my photography now. That feels like a really cliche thing to say, actually. Enjoy the journey more than the destination. What I mean by that is coming out with a goal for my photography. And for a lot of the time, it was actually around YouTube. You know, I have to come out, I have to get something, otherwise it's a failure. I got myself into that mindset. And you can pretty much transfer that to any social media, really. If the goal of what you're doing is to get an end product to post somewhere or share somewhere to get some likes, then that of course is going to impact on the enjoyment you have when you come out. And so I forced myself on several occasions to come out and not make a video. And if you noticed, probably last year, my video output diminishing somewhat, then that has a big part to play in it. And I've got actually a ton of photographs that have never seen the light of day, because it was just me coming out, exploring a place like this and not doing anything at all, having no expectations whatsoever for the images to be shared anywhere at all. And I found that I was really enjoying it a whole lot more than I was when I was putting the pressure on myself to create for, with the best will in the world, other people. By doing that, I fell in love again with the journey, not the goal. Do some photography to feel that wellness, that fulfillment, to get that fresh air in your lungs, to listen to the bird song, to experience new places. I mean, I don't know what this tower is here, but that's pretty cool, isn't it? And just have an adventure and explore. And if I get a shot at the end of it, great. And if I don't, so what? It really doesn't matter, because it's the journey, not the goal. second golden rule: don't target things that you can't control. Now for me, I'm going to give the example of this channel here. I had goals and targets based on subscribers, likes. I have no control over any of that stuff. The only thing I can control really is the content of the video, what the thumbnail looks like, and how many videos I put out there. And that became my new and only target really, which was put out 30 videos a year. And you can take a trip back in time. You'll see a point when I stop asking people to subscribe and I stop asking people to like, and occasionally I slip it in. But general rule of thumb, if you watch regularly, you probably notice now that I've said it, that it's something I don't really say anymore because I have no control over it. And I was breathing these targets. Can I get my Instagram to 1,000 followers? Can I post this photo and get 500 likes or hearts or whatever it is? If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen my Manchester stuff go up. And I actually dislike posting on Instagram. I really don't like it at all. So I just did it all at the beginning of the month. I just scheduled it all. That was the target. Upload the images from my Manchester by Night project. What it does outside of that, I have no control over. How many people click double tap? How many people might like it on Facebook? The only thing I can control is posting it. So that's the only target I have. Gorgeous trees in here. Everything's really dark under the canopy though. This grey light. Because everything is kind of green, the bark's covered in moss. And then you've got the moss behind it. It's all very green. There's no light to add contrast. Make for difficult to try and pick out some compositions without that light, which would help to separate it. Although there's some very cool looking And then came the third thing. Now this is something that I've talked about before, and without a doubt it sounds a little bit egotistical, but it really isn't. And it was some advice that I heard a long time ago. I can't really remember who by, and it didn't make sense to me for the longest time, but about 2 years ago, 18 months ago, it absolutely started to make sense, and I saw the beauty of this. And that is that whatever you think about my photography is no concern of mine. And that's because photography isn't about being liked by everybody. It's actually the stuff that is both liked and disliked that is probably the best kind of photography. And if you, as somebody once said to me actually, very wise man, if you're only getting likes on your photography, then not enough people are seeing it. And if you consider that I'm not concerned if you dislike my photography, you also have to understand that I can't be that concerned if you do like my photography. I mean, it's a brilliant thing to say. It's brilliant for somebody to say that's a smashing image, and to know that maybe you've inspired somebody to go out and take a shot of their own. But actually, it doesn't do anything for me. And if I do become concerned with that, what happens to me is I try and go out and repeat that shot, repeat the same thing again. And actually that's bad for my photography. So I don't want to be that. But by paying so much attention to what people like and don't like, you can stop yourself doing things, and it can make you do things. So, you know what? They are all as valid as each other. Somebody liking a photograph that I take is as valid as somebody not liking a photo that I take. And once I started to appreciate that, it again just started to take the weight off that expectation that everybody has to like everything that I do. They absolutely do not. And I'm sure there's already a comment down below saying your photos are shit, and that's all right by me.